Hi guys, my name is Jackie. Welcome back to my channel. It has been a long time since I posted a video and this was the culprit. So I was actually busy prepping for this test. In here I'll discuss tips and available resources out there that you can use and what are the expectations during the test and the result of my exam. So please stay back after the intro. Cheers! Before we get started, please don't forget to hit subscribe button and the bell button to get an update with new videos uploaded in my channel. And please like, comment, and share. So actually it only took me 2 weeks to prepare for this examination. Unlike when I did my eyes, it took me so many months because it's hard. Even if I practice a lot, then the required test that I wanted, I can't reach it. So I decided to take the PTE test because they said that this is much easier than the IELTS. And so with these 2 weeks review, I did the 1 week for familiarization and memorization of the templates, which will help you with the writing and the speaking part. And then the next week after that, I used the Apeuni app. And then I did 1 to 2 mock tests every day. So you can see in this picture, you can actually do about 2 hours of mock test. And then after 1 hour, when you do that, you'll get the result. So with the Apeuni app, it's about I think $20 plus, and that's about 30 days of practicing. So it's quite worth it, right? So in the picture, you'll see my actual score during the Apeuni Mac exam, and it also provides you the opportunity to revisit the test, analyze what were your mistakes and what are your weaknesses. It can be challenging and disappointing as well, in the sense that I was trying to raise your score, but I always get a low mark. But in reality, I only needed an overall 55 score, nothing lower than 50. I can take the exam and I would have passed the test in maybe 2 days worth of review, but I booked it way too far and I would have been penalized and pay more if I moved the date to an earlier date. So, as well as I also felt like I was having a nightmare days before the exam. For some reason, my brain kept on memorizing the template when I was asleep, so it was really a torture. So, okay, I'll stop ranting, and the next slide will be a quick info about the test. Okay, so the first part of the exam will be the speaking, and these are all the sections that will be a part of it. The first one is to read aloud. It will give you about 30 seconds to read the sentence and practice it before the actual time. So you have to be just wary about reading it with some kind of intonation, and you need to read it fast enough so you'll get more points and also avoid committing mistakes. Now the second part would be the repeat sentence. You'll hear a recording. It's actually just one sentence. And then whatever you hear, you have to repeat the sentence. My tip in here is to just listen really well. If you got opportunity to write few words quickly, like the first letter, maybe it will help you. But yeah, just practice more. Just practice every day. It will help. Okay, so now the third and the fourth part of the speaking exam is describe image and read the lecture. So I just use one template for that. I use Jimmysem's template. You can go and visit his website or his YouTube channel. And with that template, it surely helped me with describing the image that is being shown in the screen. I think there's about three of that, and usually sometimes it's about graphs or about just picture or line graphs, and it's hard to prepare for that if it's about only 15 or 20 seconds for you to prepare and describe the image. And it's the same thing with the retail lecture. You will hear a recording about a speaker speaking about something. So what you're gonna do is just write all the main points that you remember. Maybe pick up about 5 or 6 or maybe 7 words that are really important and use Jimmysem's template. And the last part of the speaking test is the answer short questions. It's the same thing. It's doesn't bear much points, but it does ask you about maybe 5 questions. One example would be probably like, what is this instrument that has 6 strings? And the answer would be guitar, and so on. Now we're moving to the writing part. The first one is the summarized written text. So in this test, you see a paragraph and you have 10 minutes to summarize its main points. So you only have to provide one sentence, about 50 to 75 words. And what I actually realized in here is just you just connect basically one part of the first sentence in the paragraph, or maybe some words that you can find in the first sentence of the paragraph as well, or the second or the third. Or if it's irrelevant, then you go to the conclusion and then pick some words that is connected to your first sentence. And how you're gonna connect it? It's by using the however and moreover. So I'm gonna give you an example on this um, on the next slide. So in here, I outlined the first sentence, and then I use the third sentence and connect them, because I can't see anything that is related to the first sentence in the conclusion. And so if you're gonna look at the final product, it will give you these perfect scores. So you can see the first paragraph, I connected it with the third sentence. Since they are related to each other, I use moreover. But if it's not, then you use however. Okay. Okay, so now the second part of the test is writing an essay. It will give you a topic, and in the topic, you need to answer that within 20 minutes. Um, the portion of the test will be as the same as the one you've taken in during your IELTS. It will give you like like some type of exam that is asking you about, do you agree or disagree, so what are the examples, blah blah blah. So what I just did is like just memorize the Jimmysem stuff. Like, why bother thinking of like how I'm gonna write these things within 20 minutes? So just basically replace what is being asked in there, and then just my tip, guys, make sure to just paraphrase the words that is being asked and put it in your introduction, because the AI will pick it up and think that you have tried and answered this question. So the content wise would be almost as the same as the one is being asked. And I think it's important that you memorize this template, because what if you're given with about 2 types of essays during the exam? It's going to be too stressful. So don't bother reading things, and like hopefully you whatever you read, it's going to be something that's going to come out during the test. So just use this template, guys. It's tested and it's proven, and I will show you my result as well as a proof that it is working. So in the reading section, you'll see 5 types of tests. And the only thing that I think you need to focus on is reading and writing fill in the blanks and reorder paragraphs. I can't say anything to advise you on what to do, guys, but I think if you practice more, you will improve. Now, this is the last part of the test, which is the listening part. This is actually my favorite. It's got so many subtests in there, and you just have to focus on the summary spoken test. In here, you'll hear a recording again, a lecturer speaking about stuff, and this time remember with the speaking, you have to retell the lecture, but in here, you had to listen and at the same time write it down. So there's a template for that that you can use, and I use a Apeuni's template. So with the first one, you have to just talk about what is the topic and then pick up the main point, which is categorized as S1, and then pick up another two important words and combine it in one sentence, and then it goes with the same, like the fourth sentence, another two important words and the summary, like that. It is very informative, so let's make it easier for you guys. Okay, now that's my example, guys. If you're gonna look at it, I used a Pioneer template and I got a perfect 10 score. So it's much easier for me to just pick up these 5 or 6 words and yeah, just use the template and I got a perfect score. It's easy. Another one that you need to focus on is write from dictation. It's almost similar as the read aloud in the speaking section part, but this time you have to write it down. So my tip, guys, for you is again write the first letter of the 4 to 5 words and then remember the last few words. So for example, if the speaker said the timetable for next term will be available next week, if you write written TTFN and then you remember the rest, you will say, oh yeah, yeah, I remember the timetable for next term. So just type in will be available next week and then you'll start typing the timetable for next term. So it will be easier for you to recall things. So what are the things that are being expected during the examination? First, never forget your password because it's the only type of identification that they're gonna be using to identify you as the examinee. So don't waste your money by forgetting this, okay? And the next one, make sure to go to the toilet and drink a bit of water before you start the examination because yes, you have the opportunity to take a break during the exam, but it is deducted in the total of hours that you're supposed to take the examination. And then the test takers are just divided by a cubicle. So it's hard, guys. Like I can literally hear the person that is taking the examination on my left and on my right side and even on my back side. So I think for you to be able to prepare with this type of noises, just make sure that you do this kind of scenario when you're doing Mac exams. So when what I did is like with Jimmysem's, he's got this noise background that's simulating this type of noises, and I put it in the background while I'm taking the examination, and so it helped me prepare mentally to focus on my exams. Alright, make sure that your headset is at a proper volume and test your mic if it's working. Okay, and expect to get the result between 3 to 5 days, but with my own, I only got it like within 3 hours, and it was surprisingly okay. So that's the official result. I got a total score of 86. I got a perfect score of 90. So maybe you should follow the tip that I gave about the writing part. Um, 79 is a bit low. It's the lowest. 79, but I'm still happy with the score. 83, 80. Remember, I only needed a score that is the total of 55 and nothing lower than 50, and I got these type of scores. So in comparison to the IELTS, if I had taken it, I would have had a score of 8, 8.5, 8, and 9. And when I took the examination of this test, like the IELTS back in 2012, I only got a score of 9877. And that's only 10 points in PR application. But here, My points is actually 20 points. That's considered as superior English in PR. So this is actually the most coveted score that people wants to have when they are about to apply for their permanent residency. Um, I think when it comes to this type of examination, I think you get more chance of getting the score that you needed if you're gonna take the PTE versus the IELTS. But I can't speak to it for everyone. Everyone has their own preferences. But I did try both tests, and I really like PTE better than IELTS. Okay, my last message, guys, is you have to set your goal. You do not need to compete with others. Stay away from that kind of peer pressure. Improve for your own growth. And good luck. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video. I will make one in the future again, so just stay tuned.